Fearless Disease.
Back, well, the U.S. approving an $11 billion arms package for Taiwan. This is the largest ever from the U.S. to Taiwan as it faces increased military pressure from communist China. Taiwan will purchase rocket systems, drones, and anti-tank missiles and others after boosting its defense spending by $40 billion. The president of Taiwan is warning that Beijing plans to seize the island by 2027. That's the Davidson window, as we've talked about, 2027. China Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
We got to read that first. Before we get into that, FearlessDisease fam, today we expose the truth they hate to hear. Like right now, if you are ready. As you see, man, this is big right now. I love to see this right here. Now, I don't say I love it. I just like to hear money about sometimes. You know, it could be positive, could be negative. But it looks like the tariffs is going on between Trump and China are starting to throw in a little bit more over Taiwan. And it's going to be a lot of battles right now. But $11 billion arms to Taiwan is a big move. As you hear right here, by aiding Taiwan's independence through arms sales, the U.S. will only end up harming itself. Any attempt to use Taiwan to contain China is doomed to fail. That comes from the Chinese minister. This is going to be, China already got a little bit of attitude with us, man. You know, we've been taxing them, aka tariffs. So you already know anything that we're gonna do now. Now everything's gonna be, it's doomed to fail. I don't like y'all. Oh, you know what? You just talk a little pity pat, chat. But I know Mr. Trump gonna do what he have to do. Let's hear what else they have to say about this.
Says this: by aiding Taiwan's independence through arms sales, the U.S. will only end up harming itself. Any attempt to use Taiwan to contain China is doomed to fail, says the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs. New images from the Taiwan Strait show China's most advanced aircraft carrier passing through the Taiwan Strait earlier this week. Joining me now is the Gatestone Institute Senior Fellow, Gordon Chang. Gordon, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. I've talked about the Davidson window before. This is Admiral Davidson, Philip Davidson, who said it is likely that Beijing goes into Taiwan in 2027. And that's what Taiwan is saying as well. What do you make of this most recent aggression with China in the Taiwan Strait and telling the U.S. not to help Taiwan in any way?
Well, China was always going to complain about any arms package, but this is a very important package, as you point out. And really what it shows, Maria, is that President Trump is not afraid of the Chinese.
He ain't afraid of nothing. I'm telling you, we explain this every time. That's why fearless disease. What we do over here. Mr. Trump got it too. He got a disease as well. We ain't scared of nothing no more. We ain't scared of that. Tariffs protect U.S. workers from dumping, man. He believes that economy is first. That's what he stands for. He ain't got time for that. Ain't no punk Biden in the office no more. We got Trump in there. Man, he's staying on his 10 toes. Like, I don't care what y'all talking about. Continue.
Know this also because Trump has been surging military assets into the Taiwan Strait and as well nearby Japan. We now have 2 carrier strike groups in the region. Now, President Trump gets a lot of credit for going after China hard, but he is losing the information war because he doesn't believe it's important. And the Chinese are being able to tar him and basically say to the rest of the world that Trump is afraid of the Chinese. And unfortunately, that narrative is taking hold not only around the world, but in the United States itself. But when you look at the reality, President Trump is going after China across the board.
Yeah, he really is. Look, I've talked a lot on this program about rob, replicate, replace. That is what John Ratcliffe told me a long time ago, is the MO of China: rob, replicate, replace on Western companies. Well, this next story is really unbelievable. China's newest artificial intelligence companies called, ready for this, MetaX. That's the name of the company, MetaX. And the other one, of course, as you know, is More Threads. Both surged in recent IPO debuts on the...
So they got a problem. So MetaX, they already know we got Meta here. So now they're trying to what? Trying to create some kind of tech thing that try to mimic our name. That was trying to say to serve 700% in Shanghai debut. So y'all got a little attitude. So now you're gonna try to invent and do some things on your own because Trump is over there playing games with you with these tariffs. Yeah, keep on.
Shanghai Stock Exchange. MetaX claims that the performance of the C500 chip series is similar to NVIDIA's H200 chip. President Trump recently allowed the sale of those NVIDIA chips to Beijing, although the most advanced chips are still restricted. Your thoughts on these two companies? And I just think it's, I mean, it's an embarrassment. They named the company MetaX.
Because they want to be like us.
Well, yes. And that shows you the Chinese have no respect for the United States.
At all.
They're being open about what they're doing. MetaX surged 693% yesterday in its IPO. And
Almost
more
700.
Threads surged 400% earlier this month. The reason why these companies are so popular is not necessarily because of their products, but because everybody knows that the Chinese government is determined to make sure that there are no American or other foreign chips in China. And so everyone wants to pile into these companies. But we got to also remember one other thing. You know, when the Commerce Secretary, Howard Lutnick, or NVIDIA's Jensen Huang says, look, we need to get China addicted to the American technology stack, that's just not going to wash because Xi Jinping is determined that there be no American products in China.
Wow. Well, look, I mean, you know,
You ain't gonna be able to survive without American products in China. You need to have some. Now, we don't have a lot because, of course, the past administrations and past generations want to get rid of our factories and really producing a lot of items that we need to be able to outsource and give to other countries. But there are some that they want, especially when it comes to NVIDIA chips. They want to use our chips, and we allowed those sales to go over there. But now they want to be able to replicate and duplicate our technology and name it MetaX so they can be able to do their own chips. Very childish of them, man. You really upset about Trump about these tariffs? It's business, baby. It's business. Stop playing around with us.
the Chinese Communist Party does not believe in patents. They don't believe. I mean, look,
No.
they just take the names, Meta X. So obviously, we've got Meta and we've got X in the U.S. They name one company Meta X. President Trump's push to take back some power over the Panama Canal is also hitting a wall. This is also another pushback, aggressive move from China. It's demanding that its largest shipping company, that company called Costco, gets a controlling stake in any deal, or else it will not sell the 2 Panama Canal ports to a group led by BlackRock. As you know, BlackRock, Larry Fink, has been trying to acquire these ports, and they're hitting a wall. Gordon, what do you think?
Well, you know, what this clearly shows is that these ports are not just commercial ventures. These are strategic assets for China because that's the way China views them, because they're withholding approval of a commercial deal, and what they're doing is commercially unreasonable. So I think President Trump needs to exercise some American power. You know, in Panama itself, there is a constitutional court case that says that these 2 ports, the concessions were unconstitutionally extended in 2021 for 25 years. Now, if that court case doesn't go as the way we hope, I just think President Trump should seize these ports because China is obviously using them as a way to hurt the United States. So now's the time to use American power for American ends, and the Chinese can't do anything about it.
Yeah, but I mean, the United States gave those ports to Panama, right? And suddenly, very soon into it, China basically dominated. President Trump, you know, explained it to me in several of my interviews with the president, saying that all the signs were in Chinese. You know, it was obviously the CCP was running things there in Panama at the ports. How's the U.S. going to take it back now?
Well, I think it's going to be a very long process, but we got to get Panama to, first of all, remove these 2 concessions to C.K. Hutchison. These are both ends of the Panama Canal Zone. We got to take the rest of the infrastructure away from China, especially the 4th bridge, which they are now building over the canal. This is a long-term process that will be done with trade and investment. But I think that we do need to use American power and military power as well. So it's got to be an all of the above solution.
Very true. I think he will. We have to get that. We have to get that border back over there in Panama. Especially if they're going on there, down there already has Chinese lettering and Chinese signs everywhere. That means that this was pre-planned. This is China planned to do that. They knew what was going on, so they put in instructions just in case something like this would happen. They're not stupid. They're not dumb people at all. That doesn't happen like that anyways. But these tariffs is going to be amazing. We're not even worrying about that because at least jobs going to be at least 500K by 2026. I already know it's going to happen. That's my prediction. I think it's going to really happen. It's going to be a lot of jobs, man, by next year because we're able to create more things here. We'll be able to export them out a little bit more, and we're bringing more money in so we can create more jobs and with the tariffs. Trump's trade policy is going to deliver. There's no way around it. They're going to have to bend their knee. Trump ain't playing around them. You feel me? Smash that like. Tap the next video right here on the screen. Subscribe and hit that bell. CashApp FearlessDisease is always in the description if you are rocking with the movement. See you on the next one. Stay rich and stay fearless.